Good afternoon. Let us discuss science and technology questions from today's GS paper 1. I'm Santosh. You may have gone through the question paper. You may know the number of questions asked by UPSC. There are around 16 questions directly and indirectly related to science and technology. Most of the questions are related to current events. Okay, so let us discuss all these questions. Question number 44, that is part of series D. Which of the following statement about Dhruv 64 is are correct? Now we know that Dhruv 64 is indigenously developed microprocessor, 64 bits microprocessor. Okay. Two statements are given. First is, it is the third chip fabricated under the DRV program with an overall aim to enable the creation of microprocessor for India. So that statement is correct. Actually, it is third chip after two. Tejas, actually it is pronounced as okay. Basically, two processes were developed before the Dhruv 64, Tejas 32 and Tejas 64. Okay. So first statement is correct. I think this was developed in Malaysia. It was developed at Mohali Institute, and Dhruv 64 is the third chip fabricated in India. It is India's first homegrown 1 gigahertz 64-bit dual-core processor, microprocessor. That is also correct. Okay, so both these statements are correct. Answer is C. Obviously, you may know that this microprocessor is necessary for indigenization of technology, development of indigenous technology that will contribute in various sectors, for example, industrial automation. Okay, so obviously this question was related to current event. Okay, now next question is 45. Scroll. Okay. Question number 45. Question is related to basically bomb disposal system. You may know that India got ready with indigenous robot that will help us for the disposal of bombs. Actually, that is developed by one of the DRDO research lab. The robot is called Daksh, which is capable of identifying different types of explosives. It is also capable of identifying the circuits, defusing the bomb. If it is not possible, if the robot thinks it is not possible to defuse, then it is also capable of towing it away from the place, taking it to the safer place and then dispose it. So basically, there are various research institutes trying to develop such types of robots, but there should be standardization. There should be, say, standards. And that is why this institute, Bureau of Indian Standards, they introduced national standards to test and assess bomb disposal system. So in this context, statements are given. So the new standard is known as IS, Indian Standards 19445 2005. Basically, that statement is correct. Okay. Second statement, it will improve interoperability of equipment across agencies. That is also logically speaking, okay, correct. Okay. So you may be familiar with this IEEE standards for various electronic gadgets which are working with the help of, say, Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, etc., etc. So there are international standards. Similarly, when various research institutes are developing devices for this particular purpose, then there should be standardization, okay, that helps interoperability of equipments across agencies. Even though various agencies are developing those equipments, interoperability can be achieved. So that statement is also correct. First statement is factual one, that is also correct. It was developed by TBRL, DRDO. Okay, so that is also correct. In collaboration with 30th Central Scientific Research Institute, but the trick played by UPSC is here the word is given Russia, it should be India. And that is the reason this statement is not correct. So we are left with this option 1 and 2 only. Okay. Now the next question, it was again factual one. Some data is given. See X, name of the person, name of the scientist. Okay. And born in the UK, was confirmed the Nobel Prize in 2025, was a professor in an American university when this prize was announced. Okay, you can find the name of the person, that is John Clark, and you know that this Nobel Prize is awarded for the research called quantum tunneling. Very important research work, that is the foundational groundwork for basically quantum computing. Okay, so one of the most important developments in the field of science and technology, that is the reason question was asked. Okay, John Clark, that is the answer. It was factual one. Okay, now let us discuss next question. Okay, that is question number 49. Yeah. Which of the following statement with regard to India's indigenous new high resolution weather model? The Bharat forecast system. Bharat forecast system, that is correct. Okay, that is also called basically we can say Bharat or say Bharat FS forecast system. Okay. We know that we are using various supercomputers developed in India for the development of various weather forecasting models. This one is a recent one. Okay. Now two statements are given. Its objective is to generate forecast at the Panchayat cluster level. Okay. That is correct. Basically, we are trying to develop forecast models which can cater the needs of villages or panchayats and cluster levels. So this model is capable of providing weather forecasting at this scale, 6 kilometer by 6 kilometer. Okay, so they are using two supercomputers for this purpose, and obviously this model, second statement आप अगर देखेंगे तो ये it was developed by IIT Delhi. Now you know that basically आप देखेंगे वेदर फोरकास्टिंग मॉड्यूल जो है ना, इंडियन मेट्रोलॉजिकल डिपार्टमेंट IMD, ये इनका काम होता है, या उससे रिलेटेड और भी एक इंस्टीट्यूट आपको पता होगा, इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ट्रॉपिकल मेट्रोलॉजी, है ना, इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ट्रॉपिकल मेट्रोलॉजी, इनका काम होता है. तो बेसिकली एक पूना बेस्ड इंस्टीट्यूट है और दूसरी नोएडा बेस्ड भी एक इंस्टीट्यूट है, इन्होंने कंट्रीब्यूट किया है. तो सेकंड स्टेटमेंट जो है ना गलत है, तो ऑब्वियसली आंसर जो है ना ये होगा 49, आंसर विल बी ये. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन is of course question number 51. Yeah, quite interesting question which was discussed in the classroom while studying this particular topic, information communication technology, along with cloud, internet of things and AI. This topic was also discussed. Now see, what are the statements given? Okay. Records stored in the database may be made visible to relevant stakeholders without risk of alteration. Basically, we know that blockchain technology is a technology which is used for record generation and record keeping. Any kind of record can be generated with the help of this technology, which can be also used for record keeping. Basically, blocks are generated. Blocks is a data file, kind of data file in which data is stored in highly encrypted format, which is highly complex also. Okay. And blocks are attached to previous block. That is why it is called blockchain technology. Now see, records stored in the database may be made visible to relevant stakeholders without risk of alteration. Basically, this type of technology uses peer-to-peer network. Okay, and therefore it can be made visible to relevant stakeholders, and that is why it is transparent one. Therefore, the statement number 1 is correct. Okay. Now, second is copies of the entire database. It is also called distributed ledger. Therefore, copies of the entire database are stored on multiple computers on a network syncing within seconds. That is also correct, because in peer-to-peer type of networks, multiple computers are there and the responsibility of all the computers is same. Okay, so it can be used for this purpose. So second statement is also correct. Third is consortium blockchain is a blend of public and private blockchain allowing selective data access. Basically, you may know that there are different types of blockchains. It may be public, it may be private. When it is public, access is given to all without any restriction. When it is private, access is given to limited number of people. Of course, it requires permission. And when it is consortium, basically consortium. So many players can come together and decide how to use this platform for the record generation and record keeping. So to somewhat extent, this statement is also correct. Okay. Now, fourth one, mathematical algorithms make it impossible to change or delete any data once recorded and accepted. Basically, this technology uses hashtag. Okay. This block is generated. The data is kept in highly complex encrypted format. It is generated in such a way that it cannot be reversed. It cannot be altered and it cannot be deleted. So keeping all these things in mind, this statement is also correct. Now the problem is with the option. Okay. Looking at the option, this cannot be the answer, this cannot be the answer, this cannot be the answer. Even then we are forced to select this one. But again, that is dicey because statement 3 is also correct. As a blockchain, you may know that it is decentralized system. It is also called distributed ledger. So when it is distributed ledger, then these two statements are correct. It uses peer-to-peer network. It is transparent. Okay, smart contract can be executed with the help of blockchain. That is, once those predetermined conditions are fulfilled, the transaction is completed on its own. So these are the futures. So आंसर यूपीएससी का ये होना चाहिए बेसिकली, क्योंकि दूसरा ऑप्शन है या तो क्वेश्चन कैंसिल करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so let us discuss next question. Question number 60 now. Yeah, this one. Okay, अब ये भी थोड़ा तो डाइसी है. Modern technological innovation. Which of the following statement about rare earth elements and critical minerals are correct? We know that rare earth minerals or elements are very critical, very useful. The trade war is going on between USA and China. China is using it as a weapon because China do have monopoly as far as manufacturing and supply of rare earth elements is concerned all over the world. These are very significant inputs for the electronic industry, space industry, etc., etc. So 4 statements are given. First statement is, of course, modern technological innovations including artificial intelligence, AI, robotics, space exploration extensively utilize rare earth mineral elements. That is correct. Okay. There are around 17 rare earth elements which are widely used, and they are widely used in electronic industry, basically space. So first statement is correct. Second statement is China has the highest share in mining of rare earth elements, followed by India. Okay, so that is not correct. The government of India launched the National Critical Mineral Mission in 2025 to establish a robust framework for self-reliance in the critical mineral sector. That is factual statement. That is also correct. Rare earth elements are a set of 13 metallic elements. Okay, say this fourth statement. Actually, it is not 13. It is basically 17. So that statement is wrong. Okay, so the answer is 1 and 3. So the question was little bit mix of economy and science tech. Basically here, to get the answer to this statement, you must know the periodic table, lanthanide, actinide series. At least you must have gone through, and you must know exact number of rare earth elements in the periodic table. Okay, so answer will be A. Next, question number is 66. Okay. Which of the following statement with regard to genetic medicines are correct? Okay. First statement is genetic medicines correct compensate for the faulty genes responsible for diseases. Okay. Genetic medicine is medicine basically related to gene or DNA or chromosome or say genomes, almost similar. So gene, that is integral part of DNA. Okay, we know that most of the diseases or say basically hereditary diseases. The root cause of hereditary diseases is abnormality present in the genes which are inherited or which are passed on to the next generation. So in this context, this statement says genetic medicines correct compensate for the faulty genes, that is correct, responsible for the diseases. Basically one statement is clear. If abnormality in gene is removed, gene will start functioning normally, and that is how the disease can be treated. So statement 1 is correct. Second, engineered viruses and lipid nanoparticles are used as carriers of the genetic medicine. Okay, let us discuss two examples. There are two techniques which are used as a genetic medicine. You are familiar with it. One is called gene editing, and you may know CRISPR-Cas9. Or second one you may be familiar with it is RNA silencing. Okay, gene editing, and second one is RNA silencing. In gene editing, basically abnormal part of gene is edited and it is replaced with the normal one. In RNA silencing, basically the sequence, we know that from DNA, we know the gene expression. From DNA we get messenger RNA, and from messenger RNA to protein. So this transcription or translation can be blocked so that the function of the gene can be made normal. Okay, but when these genes are modified or edited, then they must be introduced into the body. Then obviously we must use the vector. Vector is a carrier of a gene, and therefore some engineered viruses like adenoviruses or lipid nanoparticles are used as a carriers of the genetic medicines. Second statement is also correct. Genetic medicines alter the entire DNA sequence. That is not correct. Okay, only the part of gene which is abnormal, only the gene which is abnormal, that need to be altered, and not the entire DNA. Okay, so what is the answer? 1 and 2, that is the answer. Okay, next, which of the following statement with regard to large language models used in machine learning are correct? Okay, we know that AI, development of AI is very significant one. Artificial intelligence and it is based on machine learning, deep learning, and it is also using large language models, especially generative AI like ChatGPT. It is using large language models. The way we are using, a human being is using language, machine should be capable of using language. That is basically large language models. Okay, how it works? Statements are given in the context of working of the large language models. LLMS assigns probabilities to the next possible words and then pick up the one with highest probability, that is correct statement. Okay, that is how it works. The word with highest probability is picked and that is being used. Second statement, large language models process data through mathematical optimization to minimize prediction errors. That is also correct. Optimization must be done. Then and then errors can be minimized. Okay. And third statement is LLM produce unbiased outputs, that is questionable. Basically, when LLM is using data, huge data, obviously human being is generating huge data that is being used by the LLM. So the data which comes with bias, some prejudices, that will bias or prejudice will also be reflected in the output of the LLM. Therefore, this statement is not correct. Okay, and therefore the answer is A, 1 and 2 only. Okay, next question is stealth technology. See 68. Which of the following statement with regard to stealth technology are correct? Now you may know what is stealth technology. Okay, this is a simple concept. Stealth basically is making the object invisible. That is the simplest meaning of stealth technology. We know that world nations, especially Western countries, China and other highly developed countries are using fighter jets, missiles, drones. But these missile, fighter jet, drones can be captured by the radars like active electronically scan array radar or passive electronically scan array radars. So these radars are quite useful in detecting the fighter jets, missiles, drones, etc. Now, if you want to launch the attack without being detected by the enemy radars, then you must use this technology called stealth, making the fighter jet, missile or drone invisible to the radars. And that can be done by various means. Statements are given in this context. See first statement, stealth object have a very small radar cross section. Obviously we know how the radar works. Basically radio waves are sent. If the obstacle is in its path, radio waves are deflected back from the surface of the object. Okay. And then it is captured by the radar. It is analyzed. That tells so many things about the object. What is the object? In which direction it is heading? At what speed it is heading? At what altitude it is heading? And that is quite useful information in war-like situation or operational situation. So basically, if you are reducing the cross section, then obviously it will help to make the things objects stealth. So this statement is correct. Okay, it may be coated with radar absorbing material. Now, if a coating on the surface of the object is given and the material of the coating is capable of absorbing radio waves, then obviously will not be deflected, that will become invisible. Second statement, stealth object can be detected using specific frequencies. Okay, अब ये जो स्टेटमेंट जो भी है ना, बेसिकली आप देखेंगे stealth object can be detected using specific frequency, ये थोड़ा डाइसी है तो ये गलत होगा. Stealth, थर्ड वाला, stealth object are coated with metamaterial to increase the scattering of electromagnetic radiation. अब ये increase नहीं decrease होना चाहिए था. And then we know this option is correct, only one. Okay, so that is the correct option. अब ये आप देखेंगे ना, थर्ड वाला, बेसिकली स्टील्थ में दो तीन ऑप्शंस होते हैं स्टील्थ बनाने के लिए. एक तो होता है यू डिजाइन द ऑब्जेक्ट इन सच अ वे दैट इज क्रॉस सेक्शन, दिस वाला पार्ट, रडार क्रॉस सेक्शन कैन बी मिनिमाइज. दूसरा होता है कि उसके ऊपर एक कोटिंग बना दो आप, so that radio waves will be reflected. तो इस कंटेक्स्ट में आप देखेंगे तो आंसर ए होना चाहिए, ओनली स्टेटमेंट 1 इज करेक्ट. या उन्होंने उल्टा किया, इंक्रीज नहीं डिक्रीज करना चाहिए स्टील्थ बनाने के लिए. ओके, $69. Okay, black box, again it was expected one because of the accidents, because of the investigation, because of the controversies that जो हमने देखा है ना. तो सीधा सा एक सवाल उन्होंने पूछा था, ब्लैक बॉक्स के बारे में पूछा था. okay, so we know that ब्लैक बॉक्स क्या होता है, इस्तेमाल कहाँ किया जाता है. बेसिकली फ्लाइट डेटा रिकॉर्डिंग का काम जो है ना ब्लैक बॉक्स करता है. सो 3 स्टेटमेंट दिए थे. दे कैरी अ बेकॉन इमिटिंग रेड लाइट पल्सेस टू फैसिलिटेट अंडर वाटर डिटेक्शन. नाउ वी नो द बेसिक फैक्ट, फॉर द अंडर वाटर डिटेक्शन वी कैनॉट यूटिलाइज लाइट, वी आर यूजिंग साउंड. सो बेसिकली देयर मस्ट बी अ सोनार सिस्टम, है ना. तो ये तो बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी है हमारे पास, या हम अप्लाई करते हैं. तो ये स्टेटमेंट गलत है, यू समझ में आएगा. तो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज नॉट करेक्ट. दे रिकॉर्ड बोथ द कॉकपिट वॉइस एंड फ्लाइट डेटा. अब ब्लैक बॉक्स में तो दो चीजें होती है, एक होता है कॉकपिट वॉइस रिकॉर्डर और दूसरा होता है फ्लाइट डेटा रिकॉर्डर, है ना. फ्लाइट डेटा रिकॉर्डर एक होता है, कॉकपिट डेटा रिकॉर्डर एक अलग अलग होता है. ऑरेंज कलर के बॉक्स में इसको फिट किया जाता है, ऐसे फिट किया जाता है. बेसिकली आप देखेंगे तो which cannot be damaged even though there is an accident, there is a fire. ऐसे तरीके से वो ब्लैक बॉक्स बनाया जाता है. थर्ड आप स्टेटमेंट देखेंगे तो ये तो सही है. थर्ड स्टेटमेंट देखेंगे, देयर मेमोरी यूनिट्स आर मेड यूजिंग आइदर स्टेनलेस स्टील और टिटेनियम. नाउ if you want to protect the device from the huge impact or the fire or very high temperature, obviously it must be protected by stainless steel or titanium casing. But here what they are saying, memory units. Okay, and therefore this statement is also not correct. So answer must be one. Answer must be basically सेकेंड थर्ड तो नहीं होगा, 1 and 2 भी पॉसिबल नहीं है. 1 2 3 भी पॉसिबल नहीं है. बीकॉन इमिटिंग रेड लाइट पल्सेस टू अंडर वाटर डिटेक्शन, तो ये तो डिफिकल्ट है थोड़ा, ठीक है, कंसेप्चुअली. तो ये भी थोड़ा डाइसी क्वेश्चन है. आंसर इसका निकालना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट होगा बेस्ड ऑन द फैक्चुअल डेटा, फैक्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट वी हैव. बेसिकली आप देखेंगे अल्ट्रासाउंड का इस्तेमाल करना पड़ता है अंडर वाटर डिटेक्शन के लिए, तो वो डिवाइस उसके अंदर होना चाहिए. तो फर्स्ट तो नहीं होना चाहिए, तो ये आपको सही मानना पड़ेगा क्योंकि प्रोटेक्शन के लिए, तो आंसर भी होना चाहिए. लेट अस सी व्हाट यूपीएससी गिव्स द आंसर. ऐसे 2 सवाल आ चुके हैं. ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी का भी था, थोड़ा डाइसी स्टेटमेंट दिया है, और ये एक है 69 ब्लैक बॉक्स का क्वेश्चन. ओके, नाउ लेट अस डिस्कस. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 70. ओके, which of the following statement with regard to green hydrogen are correct? Okay, first statement is it is decarbonized hydrogen obtained from natural gas. और natural gas होता है मीथेन, reforming, combined with carbon capture and storage. Now you know that ये तो climate change से डील करने के लिए बेसिकली टेक्नोलॉजी इस्तेमाल होता है, और यहाँ बेसिकली होता है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. तो बेसिकली नेचुरल गैस रिफॉर्मिंग टेक्निक जो होता है वो हाइड्रोजन बनाने के लिए, ऑप्टेन करने के लिए इस्तेमाल होता है, लेकिन दैट हाइड्रोजन जो है ना वो ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन नहीं होता है. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट आप देखेंगे, इट इज प्रोड्यूस यूजिंग इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस ऑफ वाटर विद इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेटेड बाय रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, एंड दैट इज द रीजन इट इज कॉल्ड ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन. So this statement is correct. Third आप देखेंगे, नेशनल ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन मिशन ऑफ इंडिया aims for abatement of nearly 50 MMT of annual green gas emissions by 2030. अब ये भी स्टेटमेंट जो है ना दैट इज करेक्ट, फैक्चुअल है, आप वेरीफाई भी कर सकते हैं. सो आंसर मस्ट बी बी. पहला वाला गलत है. ये अगर ठीक से आप पढ़ते तो भी ये आसानी से सॉल्व कर सकते थे. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज 72. Question is related to swarm robots. Okay, which of the following statement with regard to drone swarms, that is also called swarm robot. Basically these are colony of robots. So colony of tiny creatures, say insect like creatures. अब ये तो झुंड में आते हैं ना, बिल्कुल वैसा ये बहुत सारी संख्या में आते. दैट इज व्हाई दे आर कॉल्ड स्वॉर्म रोबोट्स. स्वॉर्म रोबोट्स के कंटेक्स्ट में 3 स्टेटमेंट्स है. ओके, अब दे यूज टेट्राहर्ट्ज बैंड ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी टू कम्युनिकेट विद द कमांड सेंटर. अब यहां भी थोड़ा बेसिक कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग है ना, तो भी आसान होगा. स्वॉर्म रोबोट जो होते हैं ना, बहुत सारे एक साथ चले जाते हैं ना, तो बेसिकली कमांड सेंटर के साथ तो कम्युनिकेशन उनको करना ही पड़ेगा. ठीक है, इंडिविजुअल ड्रोन्स इन द स्वॉर्म कैन कम्युनिकेट विद अदर ड्रोन्स इन द स्वॉर्म. तो ये तो सही होना ही चाहिए, एक दूसरे के साथ कोऑर्डिनेशन होता ही है, जैसे इंसेक्ट का होता है बिल्कुल वैसा इनका ही होना चाहिए. यू मे बी फैमिलियर विद दिस स्पूफिंग. ओके, बेसिकली ये होता है कि गिविंग radio signal that is not original, actually it is mimicking an original radio signal to deceive this system. System is taking it as a radio signal from its own command center or communication center. So it is commonly used to counter swarm रोबोट्स. अगर गलत सिग्नल आप देंगे तो ड्रोन को पता नहीं चलेगा, और उसका ऑपरेशन जो है ना, फंक्शनिंग जो है ना, that will be affected badly. Okay, so basically 72 का आंसर जो होना चाहिए 2 and 3. बेसिकली यहां गलत क्यों है? ये जो है ना डिसेंट्रलाइज सिस्टम होता है, डिसेंट्रलाइज तरीके से काम करते हैं. बाकी रियल टाइम डेटा वगैरह ये कम्युनिकेट कर सकते हैं, अलग अलग तरीके भी हो सकते हैं. ओके, सो आंसर इज बी. 71 भी बीच में हमने छोड़ा है, फैक्चुअल वन है, करंट इवेंट से रिलेटेड था. कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट विद रिगार्ड टू इन्वॉल्वमेंट ऑफ प्राइवेट एंटिटीज इन इंडिया स्पेस प्रोग्राम. Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center in Space is an autonomous agency formed to facilitate participation of private entities. Basically, you may know that this statement is correct. Okay, to facilitate participation of private entities in space, autonomous agency was formed. Basically, you may know that despite ready with PSLV, GSLV, India developed SSLV, that is Small Satellite Launch Vehicle. Now, making those services available to the customers, you need a specialized agency, autonomous agency. Even to increase the public-private partnership, again, you need agency. That is why this in space was formed. So, first statement is correct. Second statement is Agnikul Cosmos launched the world's first flight using 3D printed engine. Now you may know that this is India's first private space company. There are so many first. Okay, they developed the engine that is 3D printed. Okay, basically you know that 3D printing is a manufacturing technique. सिंगल पीस बनाया जाता है, मोल्डिंग वगैरह जो होता है ना वो इस्तेमाल नहीं होता है, लेयर पे ऊपर एक लेयर देके इंजन बनाया जाता है. तो अग्निनील जो है ना, अग्निलेट जो इंजन है रॉकेट के लिए, ये इन्होंने बनाया था. और एक खासियत है अग्निकुल कॉस्मोस, एक्चुअली इट इज द फर्स्ट प्राइवेट कंपनी टू टेस्ट सेमी क्रायोजेनिक इंजन. सेमी क्रायोजेनिक होता है कि क्रायोजेनिक में आपको पता होता है कि H2 एंड O2 दोनों भी लिक्विड में होते हैं. तो यहाँ सेमी क्रायोजेनिक में एक ही होगा, बेसिकली लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन होता है और उसके साथ ये जो है ना अलग सॉलिड फॉर्म में भी हो सकता है. दैट इज व्हाई इट कैन बी कॉल्ड सेमी क्रायोजेनिक. ओके, और में भी मीथेन वगैरह का भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं हम. थर्ड स्टेटमेंट आप देखेंगे, स्काईरूट एरोस्पेस हैज डेवलप्ड लिक्विड fuel for GSLV. Now see, while reading such statements, you have to be very clear. These two statements are correct. Third statement क्या है? Skyroot. Basically, we know that various organizations associated with ISRO or set up by ISRO are developing satellites, launch vehicles, rockets for the launch vehicles, and the propellant system also. And high energy substances which can be used as a fuel. So basically we have this facility of ISRO called Liquid Propulsion System Center Mahendragiri. They are developing liquid fuel for the GSLV and not this private company. So this statement 3 is not correct, and therefore obviously the answer is 1 and 2 only. Okay, next question of course is Genome India 73. Okay, Genome India project, 3 statements are given. Genome, you know that basically DNA, all genetic material जो होता है ना, DNA क्रोमोसोम, और तीसरा होता है जीनोम. बेसिकली जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग का एक नया टेक्निक डेवलप हो रहा है. जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग बेसिकली डिकोडिंग द डीएनए और क्रोमोसोम और डिटरमाइनिंग द सीक्वेंस ऑफ दिस न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स ATGC इन डीएनए. तो एक प्रोजेक्ट पहले वाला था इंडिजेन, इसके ऊपर भी यूपीएससी ने सवाल पूछा था. नाउ द नेक्स्ट स्टेज इज जीनोम इंडिया. वी नो दैट जीनोम इंडिया के तहत बहुत सारे इंडियंस का डीएनए सैंपल कलेक्ट किया गया, उसका जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग किया गया. एक डेटा बैंक हमारे पास तैयार होने वाला है और उसकी मदद से बहुत सारा रिसर्च भी होगा. बेसिकली एक पर्पस था कि टू फाइंड आउट द बेसिस ऑफ ट्रिमेंडस डाइवर्सिटी इन इंडिया. लोगों के अंदर जो डाइवर्सिटी है उसका बेसिस क्या है ये ढूंढने के लिए ये प्रोजेक्ट एक्चुअली चालू किया था. फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट देखो, इट इज द पार्ट ऑफ द ह्यूमन जीनोम प्रोजेक्ट. नो, ओके. बेसिकली ह्यूमन जीनोम प्रोजेक्ट वाज द फर्स्ट ऑफ इट्स काइंड फॉर जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग. जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग का, ह्यूमन डीएनए और ह्यूमन जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग का सबसे पहला काम इस प्रोजेक्ट के तहत किया गया. जीनोम human genome project that was undertaken by USA. Okay, India was not part of that project. तो वो तो गलती है. The project is funded by the Department of Biotechnology. That is correct. Okay, that was funded by Department of Biotechnology. Its primary aim is to build a catalog of genetic diversity of the Indian population. That is also correct. So answer is 2 and 3. This question was discussed in the classroom while discussing the topic, okay, genome sequencing. Those who attended lecture में आपको शायद याद होगा कि हमने ये तो डिस्कस किया था. Even National Quantum Mission was also discussed when we discussed quantum computers. Okay. This is the last question from Science and Technology. See, the question is very clear. Which of the following statement with regard to the National Quantum Mission are correct? It aims at developing intermediate scale quantum computers with 50 to 1000 physical qubits. Okay. Basically, this is again factual. It is factual question. So this statement आप अगर देखेंगे तो बिल्कुल सही है. Second is its implementation includes setting up of 4 thematic hubs in academic and national R&D institute across India. That is also correct. So answer is both 1 and 2. Okay. Basically you may know that the competition is going on as far as the development of quantum computers are concerned. And you know the significance of quantum computers. India do not want to remain behind because we have missed the bus of development of supercomputers. The future of next generation computing as well as communication will be determined by the quantum computers. We know that qubit के आधार पे ये काम करता है. Obviously इसका processing speed भी बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. You may know the quantum computer developed by Google Sycamore is capable of solving the problem, particular mathematical problem within 200 seconds, which present day fastest supercomputer can solve in 10,000 years. So obviously अगर इतना powerful machine है तो हमें भी develop करना चाहिए. That is why we have undertaken this mission, National Computing Mission, और इसके तहत ये भी हमें develop करना है और quantum sensors, quantum communication, quantum distribution key वगैरह या quantum devices वगैरह भी develop करना पड़ेगा. इसके साथ ये thematic hubs का भी mention उसके अंदर है. So both the statements are correct. Then there is, I think we are left with only one question. Yeah, this was also related to science. This is the last question, huh? Okay, from science. Which of the following statement with regard to India's deep ocean mission is are correct? Okay, अब first statement अगर आप देखेंगे, basically it was launched by Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. That is not correct. Ministry of Earth Sciences. Okay, Ministry of Earth Sciences, and not by Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. Matsya 6000, okay, has been designed to carry 3 people for deep sea exploration. That statement is correct. Okay, basically we are trying to develop man's submersible, that is also called Samudrayan. Capable of entering into the depth up to 6,000 meter. So that statement is correct. Samudrayan project is under this mission. That is also correct. So obviously the answer is B. Okay. So you can see there were about 16 questions directly, indirectly related to the science and technology. Some of the questions were clubbed with economy, some with current event. But if you look at the total number of questions, there were 16 questions related to science and technology. Most of the questions were simple, but sometimes some tricky statements were given. But most of the questions were quite easy to solve, which basic conceptual understanding and application of those conceptual understanding आपको आसानी से वो सॉल्व करने के लिए मदद कर सकता था. Okay, so that's all about science and technology.